Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go.
Hey, this is Rusty Bird from the Kirk and Byrd Show, and we're joined today by Coach Keyla Delaney, and Jay Gholson is in today for my co-host, Kirk Keyla, who's getting hit by all this pollen and allergies. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Coach Delaney is the first-year head coach of the Brentsville District basketball program. And she's got these young ladies in the state semifinals playing against an old rival. So Coach, tell us a little bit about the game coming up, okay, which is tonight. And then we'll talk a little bit about your career, how you got here. But the game tonight, you guys are playing Meridian, right?
Yes. Yep.
And you played them how many times already?
This will be the fourth time we played them this year.
Wow. Okay. So tell us a little bit about the game, and then we'll go back over the season. So what can we expect tonight? This is your fourth time. Have you got, what's the record in the games?
So the record is 0-3. So we have lost 3 times to them so far. The last 2 times that we played them at home, didn't hit free throws at the end of the game. We were ahead the entire game, ended up losing by 3. We played them at home for the away. So at their house, regional championship, and we ended up losing by 6. Just didn't execute for 4 quarters. We executed 3 out of the 4 and ended up coming up short. So going into tonight, I think that we're confident. I think that we understand and we know that this is a team that we can beat. And we know that when we come ready to play for 4 quarters, in our opinion, we feel like we're the better team collectively. And so it's just going to come down to, are we going to put 4 quarters together? It's going to be a tooth and nail fought game, though. Meridian is a very talented basketball team, very disciplined. They definitely have some good talented basketball players on this team, which is why when you don't come ready to play for 4 quarters, you have 0 chance of beating them. I mean, and that's anybody. So it's going to be an exciting game. Again, like I said, the last 2 times have been, down to the wire, to really like the last minute of the game. It's been super close. So.
And Coach, question.
Yeah.
Meridian, do they have athletes like Lakeland, or are they more fundamental basketball team like you guys?
They are more fundamental. So Lakeland was a totally different type of team. Lakeland was super scrappy, super aggressive, trapping everywhere, pressuring everywhere, kind of keeping you on your heels. Meridian is very different in that they are a very patient basketball team. They are very disciplined. They will move the ball around for 45 seconds before they take a shot, because they're not going to take a bad shot. They are not going to rush anything. They will literally have you playing defense for 45 seconds, even up to I think we've had a possession where it's been almost a minute where we played solid defense, but then they ended up, getting a good shot or getting a bucket out of that. So very fundamentally sound.
How is he and Vollmer doing practice-wise? They're doing well? Practice yesterday?
So we're actually struggling a little bit right now, injury-wise. This is something that we've been facing all year long. Kara Vollmer, the past, I think 4 weeks, she had a bad ankle sprain. She bounced back from it. She was fine. And then in the game versus Lakeland, she had a pop. So she's struggling right now with her ankle, but she's very determined. She's strong. She pushes through her injuries, and she is not settling for sitting out tonight. So we're going to try to see how she's doing. Alden Yurgi, she had a really good practice yesterday. Again, not many people know this, but she's been struggling big time with a foot injury that's affected her the entire season. When people don't really know and they just watch her play, they think she's a stud, but I'm like, you have no idea. This is you're saying she's a stud at 60%.
Wow.
And that's what it honestly, and that's what it's been. And she doesn't, she doesn't like to highlight the fact that she's injured, but I think it's important for people to know that she's still doing what she's doing and achieving what she's achieving going at, only being able to play at 50%, 60% best most games.
Wow.
Wow, Coach.
Yeah.
So,
In regards to the mindset.
Yeah.
How
And she's one of the strongest players, both physically, mentally, that I've really ever seen or witnessed. She has a dog mentality, and really, and she's top tier, honestly, in every way, athlete wise. So
okay, that's good to hear, Coach. And I'll say this though, I've like I said, I've officially with Cardinal for over 25 years. Done a lot of Meridian games over the years, and it is a really. I'm on my way. But I'm sure that it's that you guys are going to play sound basketball. You're going to do what you do, and that'll carry you through. I tell you what, it's hard to beat. And I said this last year. It's hard to beat somebody 2, 3, now 4 times. It's hard. But clearly you guys deserve to be here. Let me ask you, when you played them before, have you seen something that you could maybe able to have corrected or worked on, or was it just, hey, we were missing some players or we didn't execute, but we see what we couldn't fix?
I'm going to be real honest with you. I think that we have the game, we have the recipe, we have the game plan to beat them. It's literally just that we've had, every time we played them, we've had lapses where we'll execute that game plan for 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter we don't, or we execute it for 3.5 quarters, and then the last 4 minutes of the quarter we have too many defensive lapses. Because when I say they are so fundamentally sound that just a split second you're out of position on defense, they are going to take advantage of that. They find all gaps, all openings. They're constantly cutting, they're constantly moving. They're every time down they're running a set. You know what I mean? A set with constant movement. So honestly, I really think, because if you've looked at past scores, last year, the year before, first game we played them, we were getting whooped. And I'm straight up, they was whooping us, but I made adjustment. I watch film heavily to prep and make sure that my girls are fully, prepared. And I think that honestly, we have the perfect game plan. It's just about executing it for 4 quarters.
Okay.
Your best players on Meridian?
So they have Elizabeth Creed. She's a senior. She'll be going to CNU.
Okay.
Yes. And their women's program is like very good. Basically like a Division I program, honestly. Yeah. They're that talented. Yeah. She will be going there. She's a huge staple for them. She's a good leader. She sees the floor well. She makes great passes. She takes pretty good shots. She's aggressive. She's a pretty good defender. So they have her, and then another senior, Peyton Jones. She's their point guard, can shoot the ball, take people off the dribble, very fundamentally sound, a very smart player. So yes, they definitely have some key players on their team. Yeah. She's going to Rochester, I believe.
Okay.
Peyton Jones. So
they've won several state championships. So that's, but that's in their past. And what I want to get to now is Brentsville is making history. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is the furthest that the Brentsville District girls basketball team has advanced in its history. But last year wasn't too bad either. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of Brentsville basketball, the role you played in it, and a family member of yours?
Okay. So I've been a part of the Brentsville program. Honestly, I played high school basketball there. So my dad was the previous coach, the former coach. So it's been a part of me since I was a little girl. I started as an assistant coach at Brentsville about 3 years ago. I came under my dad. I was previously at Battlefield under Coach Anthony Mills, who's now at Potomac. Yeah. Great coach. I was with him for a few years, and then I made the transition under my dad. Historically, we've had pretty good seasons, especially the last 3 years. We have 21 seasons, typically making it to the state quarterfinals. Just could never get past that hump. Last year, we played Lakeland in the state quarterfinals, and ended up coming up short, losing by 4 against them. And Lakeland last year was a bigger dog, even bigger dog than they were this year. I mean, they were very talented. So, just historically, I think, especially the years that Kara Vollmer has been a part of the program and Alden Yergi, like it's just been pretty successful seasons, but, we could never get over that hump. And just being a part of it this year has been amazing. I mean, when I got the job, I sat individually every one of these girls down and I said, listen, this is my vision for this team. And you can either be, if you want to be a part of it, and if you want to believe in this vision that I have and the goal I have for this team, great, but I need you guys to believe just like I do. And I told them, like, the vision is a state championship. It's to get to the state championship, something that we've never done before. And some of them are looking at me like wide-eyed, like, we can't, we have never been past this first. And I'm listening, I'm like, guys, and I told them every day in practice, this is our goal. Keep your eyes on the prize, like stay focused. You know what I mean? Because this is very doable. Even if in our lowest moments this season, that was something that was just pounded. Like, we deserve this. We are good enough to do this. Nobody else believes it. Nobody else believed it. Let's be honest, but we believed it. So it's been awesome.
Be a first year head coach.
Yeah.
To do what you did, Final Four is commendable.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
part
you.
of the thing. You just kept
commendable. Like, come on, bro. You from east side of Prince William County. That joint is hype, dog. What are you talking about?
Yes.
You might be up in that executive suite up in McLean, but come on. She didn't understand that commendable. Yes, but dang.
Well, you're my coach of the year.
We're keeping it real.
Thank you. That
joint is off the chain for a first year coach.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That
lines is similar. You and your dad, when you all outburst and yell at each other, it's similar.
Okay, so I literally posted some on the internet, on Instagram and stuff like that the other day, because I was watching film, because I study film, and it was against Meridian in the regional championship. The ref did make a good call, in my opinion. It wasn't a good call, so I went crazy, like buck wild, right? So I posted and I'm like, y'all, please tell me if I'm tripping. I'm like, it looks like I'm crump dancing, like I'm in a 2005 crump battle. And I tell y'all, it's on Facebook right now. It's crazy. Somebody put the crump battle music in the background. I was like, well, I gotta chill. I just get
your daddy's girl.
literally.
So, Coach, do you know Tamika Dudley?
I do.
Yeah. So Tamika, she was at Woodbridge for years, and she's at Sidwell Friends now, and had an outstanding year last year and this year. They've actually just won the DC State Championship.
Yeah.
But our daughters, my wife used to work at Woodbridge, and our daughters were very good friends, played travel soccer and stuff together. And then Tamika and I, her daughter Kendall and my son played on the same like 6th grade basketball team, EPY, way, right? But Tamika didn't have a chance, didn't have the time to really be the head coach. So I was the head coach and Tamika was my assistant.
Oh, wow.
And it's so funny because I joke her about that today, like, you were my assistant. but we were in like, and look, Kendall back then was like in 5th or 6th grade and playing against 7th and 8th grade boys. Like, we were the only girls on. We had one other girl on the team, but very few in the whole league. And she was killing it. And so I was getting mad because they were hacking her in the playoffs. And again, I've been officiating with Cardinal for years. And these guys, were the worst refs, and I let them have it. So they give me a T, and I'm like, what? I'm looking at Tamika. I wanted her to kind of maybe get loud and get the T, even though she was the assistant and she's not supposed to stand up. But now I got to sit down and I got to be quiet. We lost the game. My son I think ended it because he got into a little fight. I don't know. But my point is, I look back and I was like, what happened to me? I just lost it. But I've always been fiery. My main coach, sport I coach is football. And you can kind of get away with that a little bit more. Not like it was when Jay and I played 30 years ago. But
What's
like,
your dad?
Huh?
What's her dad?
Right. So, you know, when we played back in the day, football, basketball, like coaches could really express themselves. And I'm glad that you're able to do that.
Yeah, especially as a female coach too. You know, you don't really see too many, you know, female coaches, at least at the high school level, you know, that will get fired up like that. But, you know, I'm a firm believer in that, you know, the energy I put forth, especially in game time, is going to reflect through my players. You know, if I'm just sitting down chilling, which I've seen a lot of coaches do, like just kind of sitting there saying things here and there, a lot of times their team, you know, they play accordingly. Like the energy is not there, the intensity is not there, but they feed off me. Okay. They feed, you'll see me jumping, you'll see me looking at the crowd, clapping, you'll see me in that one minute I'll be in their face, like telling them about themselves. And then the next moment, if they hit a big shot, I'm hyping them up. You know what I mean? But I just think that that's important as a coach.
Yeah.
They feed off that. So
now, are you more of a player? Are you a player's coach or like a Bobby Knight type coach?
If you got to think about it, well, I don't know what that means.
So my players coach, I would say so.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. And really the ones you got to ask are the people that played under you in the past. You know?
Yeah.
I know even when I played, I didn't understand my high school football coach. I thought he was crazy, and it turns out I coached just like him.
Same here.
And I appreciate it, you know. But I would say he was not a player's coach, but I feel like the way I've coached over the years, I have kind of been hard, but then I can put my arm around them and I can joke with them. And they do know I'm a human being, you know, so.
Right, yeah, like I'm super, and my girls will tell you, like, I don't take it easy on them. I'm tough. I've been tough on them since I got the job first day. You know, I was like, because I'm not here to baby you. I'm not here to, you know, coddle you. I'm here to make you the best version of a basketball player that you can be. You know, I'm here to develop you so that you can contribute and be what you need to be for this team, you know, so, but you know, it also relationships have been very important for me too. Coming in as a coach, they've always had, you know, my dad, and I was a part of the program, but it's different stepping into the head coaching role. And, you know, forming those relationships and things like that was super important to me, especially because let's be honest, a lot of these girls, there was, I mean, big pieces of this team that were thinking about not even playing this year.
Whoa.
So, you know, that's where I had to step in and say, you know, I'm going to be hard on them. I'm going to be tough on them because that's what a state championship is going to require. But at the same time, like I have to show them, you know, that I do. It's more than basketball. You're my family. I love you. I care about you. So it's very important.
That's what's been important to me. Not just in, you know, in coaching, but just any type of mentoring thing is like, you know, years from now, because I remember the people that had impacts in my life. My mom was a single mom for a number of years, and just some of the people that took the time. Like now, I try to go back and say, hey, man, you know, you really, and they may not even realize it. Like, no, I didn't. You may not have thought, but what you were saying was like it resonated with me. I may not have let you know then, but it made a difference. So, and I always tell anybody I've coached or mentored, like, man, I just look forward to the day when I see you in the mall and you got your kids and you're like, oh, Coach Rusty. And that already starts to happen where I just see people that I coached when they were 10 and now they're like big and adults, or they're just in high school. And I'm like, oh man, like LaJayla over at Potomac. She was an all-region player for Potomac High School, your high school. But I coached her in track. And her daughter and my daughter were like really good friends. Like she rolled with us and stayed with us. We went to nationals. And I'm like, she's getting it done on the basketball court. So that just makes me proud.
Yeah. It's important. Lifelong relationships.
Yep. So
you a baller?
What was that?
Were you a baller growing up playing?
That's what we were about to go to next. So let's go. We're going to go into, Coach, tell us how you start. We know you played basketball, but tell us how that got started. Did you play other sports? And then what was your basketball career and who were your influences?
Honestly, basketball was my first love. So the first sport I ever played was basketball. I think briefly for a hot second, I looked at my dad and my mom. It was like, I want to cheer when I was like 5, right? But it's only because all my cousins were cheering. So I was like, I'll be a part of that. Like, why can't I? And my dad was like, absolutely not. You better go get a ball in your hands. And so I was like, okay, but I naturally love the game. So basketball has always been my first love. I started playing when I was 6. As I grew a little older, starting middle school, I did track and then I did volleyball. I actually loved volleyball. That was probably my second best sport. And I absolutely loved it. So I played that through middle school, high school. My junior year, I decided to just focus on basketball because I knew that's what I wanted to play in college. With AAU and all that kind of stuff, it was really time consuming and I couldn't balance it. So kind of transitioned basketball. I ended up getting a scholarship to play at Bluefield. I'm a full scholarship and not a fan. Okay, let's just be honest. It was a rough year. Honestly, Bluefield was in the middle of nowhere. I've grown up in the city. I was not a fan. So I went there for a year. Basketball kind of went down the drain. It was messy. Let's just put it that way. The program was messy. So I ended up deciding to leave. At that point, it was actually kind of sad. My love for the game had disappeared and I had never felt anything like that before because the love that I had was so strong and it was always there, but it was gone. So I kind of just looked at my dad and was like, I don't even care where I go. Just put me somewhere close to home. I'll go play where, as long as they have a good coach and, pretty good program, I'll go. I ended up going to EMU, had a great, 3-4 years there. We were a very good basketball team. I don't know how, but we ended up getting a lot of athletes that probably should have won Division I or Division II come in at the same time. And we had really good 3 years run there. And then, so, college basketball wise, when I look back, I wish after my freshman year, I kind of went down the rabbit hole and went back to all those schools that, were recruiting me out of high school and things like that. And, possibly, go to another Division I or Division II school. But I look at it like I'm grateful to even have had a, collegiate career. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. And all of that makes you who you are today. You having that experience, maybe that was for you to be able to help someone later,
Yep, exactly.
And develop in someone. Okay. And so would you say your father was your biggest influence in sports?
Yeah, definitely. I would say both him and my mom. My dad, again, he's been coaching since I was a little girl. So I would always be in the gym. It's actually crazy in the office at Brentsville. There's a picture from 2004, I think, or 2002 or something. He was the head coach and I was the ball girl. So I'm in the team picture. I'm 8 years old holding a ball in the team picture. And, when I could be, I was in the gym with him. He was the one I remember, vividly. He would take us out after school and we would do drills up and down the street in our neighborhood. If we did well, or if we met this goal, if we made this many shots, or, ball handling, if I ain't lose the ball on different drills and things like that, we got a Slurpee or, things like that. And I just vividly remember those things and him just having, dreams for us and aspirations because he was such a good, ball player and he wanted us to be successful in that too. So, I would definitely, attribute, my basketball career and, now my coaching career, a lot off of what he's taught me, what I've gotten from him. So
cool. Yeah, my wife was a Division I athlete. She ran track at the University of Maryland. She led Lake Braddock to 5 state championships with all these.
Oh, nice.
Between indoor and outdoor. And we have 3 children. And I don't think they really had a choice about sports, but you have kids. I don't know, is your husband athletic? Is that something that your kids are or will be doing?
Yeah. So my husband was a very good football player. And not to put his business out there, but he had, he had an offer from WVU. He was supposed to go to WVU. He ended up having to go to go somewhere to try to get his grades up. I mean, it just wasn't there. He went to Osborne High School, but he was a phenomenal athlete. He ended up just going to Shenandoah University and broke just about every record there. Yeah. So very, very good football player. He was actually a really good basketball player as well. And now we have, so my son, Adrian, he's 7 right now. And he definitely is, he's doing so well already. He plays for the Commonwealth Warriors. So yeah, we're not on PME, but Warriors, and he's already shown, and honestly, since he was a baby, shown like freakishly athletic skills. Like, it's actually crazy. So he's doing really well. He loves football and basketball. Football, he's like thriving right now.
Great.
My daughter Aria is 2, and I literally just posted a video of her. She put on this little cheerleading outfit the other day and was like formation. Like, she's all about the singing and dancing right now. And I'm like, Lord help me, because is she gonna be the one? I need my baby to be a PG like me. Like, that's my aspiration for her. But again, I'm that parent where I'm like, whatever you want to do, baby. You know what I mean? Not gonna force anything. But I do see them being athletes. So
as for your son, and his coach, you like get involved, or get advice to
get involved in his sporting stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so football wise, like, my husband was helping out coach with that. He took last year off, but I am that mom. Like, I'm constantly yelling and screaming and cheering and going crazy. Like, people will tell you who watch me, like, I am that mom. I'm jumping over fences. I'm sprinting up and down the field recording, like, and not in a bad way. I'm just, like, when they made it to regionals this past year, my son scored the game-winning touchdown for it. And I jumped the fence. I'm sprinting up and down the track. And it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's just I'm hyped. You know what I mean? So I try not to, basketball-wise, I think I'm taking a step away and just being his mom, because I think that's important. Growing up with my dad being my coach, it was hard. There were times where it was very, very hard to kind of separate dad and coach. So I just kind of want to give him that space for him to have a team and his own coaches and just be supportive as a mama.
Now, what school is your son, or you're the parent, what high school are you zoned for right now?
Right now, where we're living?
Yeah.
I think as of right now, it's Osborne, but that's not happening. As my son gets older, we'll probably move, and
Freedom?
I'm sorry?
Freedom?
Oh, listen, if Freedom still has a program that they have in the next, my son is 7 years, but my husband's already talking about, if he continues to, develop, and consistently is getting better, because honestly, at the age he's at right now, it's kind of, I'd be looking sometimes like, this is like freakish. This is ridiculous how good you are. But if he continues to develop, my husband's like, no, he's going to go private. And I'm like, okay. Move to Texas or something. Times
as a dad who played and had a brother that played, high level. My brother played at Virginia Tech, played in the league.
Nice.
We know how he has some great athletes. His kids are great athletes, and my wife, again, very intense. Like my kids. So I coached my son in football for years, and like we always won undefeated. When I coached him at APYFL, then I coached him at Benton. We went undefeated, won a championship. And I think he did a good job of kind of having that tough dad. And, yeah, I love them. But my wife is like you. My wife.
Yeah, she's loud.
Loud.
Yeah.
Loud. So
I'm like.
and so my wife works at the school. She's Dr. Byrd. She's the college counselor, and everybody knows she's all cool. But he's going like on an 80-yard touchdown, and you go, yeah. I'm like, he can't hear you. But you're like, if I'm recording it with my phone, that's all you hear.
Yes, I have to mute every video I post. I have to mute it because I'm like, y'all, I'm so sorry.
Hold on, Mom. This is what you also have to mute. Because as a dad, I might be recording, but I'm also a coach, and I'm like, so I might be criticizing his coach or him, and I'm like, I gotta mute this. I have to mute it because I'm like,
right, like, hey, what are you doing?
What is he doing? Like, look at his footwork. What is it? And so we're like, let me put music to the background of that before I play it for them. You know, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, my mama has always said I'm too honest. I'm very blunt.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's like, that is my child that is not afraid to say what's on her mind without thinking twice. And I'm like, I've gotten a little better. A little better.
My mom was the same way. My mom, oh my gosh, she was so loud and cheering. And my mom was a coach, and then my stepdad was a coach. But yeah, so that's good. I'm glad our audience is getting to know you. I'm getting to know you. You have an awesome personality. I would love for you to coach my daughter if she had stuck with basketball. But look, we're going to go ahead now. I feel like our audience knows a little bit more about you, but we're going to go into a few more just like kind of off the wall questions. All right. So
okay.
All right. Do you have a favorite sports movie of all time, or what's just your favorite movie if you have one?
Let's see. Favorite sports movie. Listen, I love me some Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's usually one of mine. Yeah, yeah. And what about just overall movie? I think my wife's is like, you've got, no, what is the one with Tom Hanks and whatever? You've Got Mail or something. I don't know.
What is it called?
What is the one? I don't know. Some with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Some rom-com. That's all I know.
You know, I don't even think I have like a favorite. Listen, like I love Mulan. That's a Disney movie though.
That's cool. So look,
I love that movie. I just went to see Creed 3. I'm a big fan of all the Creed movies.
You saw that? Okay, we went to see Jesus Revolution last night. And it's actually really good.
Was it?
Yeah. And my wife, we used to mentor and teach Sunday school years ago. She and her friend were going to see Creed, and I was like, man, let's sneak over there, but we'll go see that later.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I'm a big fan.
Good. Yeah, me too. So here we go, Coach. I got another one for you. During the pandemic, I watched TV, but I was stuck in the house, and that's when I started to get into streaming. So I was Tiger King. I watched all of the Last Chance Used, and now I'm on. Do you have time? Because you got children, you coach, you work. Do you have time to watch anything or stream anything? And if you do,
it's been crazy since I got the job. I'm constantly in the gym, so I haven't had a lot of time. But I mean, when I do have time, I'm either watching college basketball or I'm watching. People make fun of me, but I'm always watching the cooking channel.
Okay.
Always. Like, I love watching the cooking channel.
Can you cook?
I can. Ask my husband. I can cook.
Okay. All right. So Jay and I'll be over. Okay.
Right. Hey, anytime.
All right. No, that's good stuff. Jay, you got any thing you want to ask?
No, that's it. Basically, Coach, tonight, we're pulling for you. And yeah, I mean, big time. Like I said, Friday night against Lakeland, I was impressed. I mean, you all walked into a hostile environment. They were you. I was getting text messages from people down there. Yeah, these folks are gonna lose.
I'm from the 757. Jay's, hit me up, and I'm like, yeah, Lakeland's pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. He's giving me updates because I was at the Patriot game.
Fourth quarter, they were leaving, disgusted.
My goodness! Listen, I was talking to my players. I said, "Yo, did you guys notice?" With like a minute and a half left, the entire crowd was blown. They're walking down and I'm like, these poor girls, like their whole, like everybody was like, man, we're out here. We can't believe y'all just let the country girls beat y'all.
Yes, that's 757 for you. Yes.
Oh my goodness, we were just talking about that.
Their parents, after that loss, probably put them in the gym and made them do suicides.
Something. Listen,
I'm telling you, I think we were talking one time. My football coach was intense. He won like 3 state championships, and I remember after a scrimmage, like he was so mad at us, he made us run 100s, and then we had my one friend Darren Forward had to crab the whole 100, and just fans from the other school just were laughing at us.
You know what's crazy? I played for Coach and Sanji White and Coach Derek Caracciolo growing up. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but they were this back in the 2008, 2000, like they coached at Stonewall. Some of the toughest coaching I've ever done. We would be in an AAU game, and a lot of these girls like Danny Jackson, who's coaching at OP, Gwen, Joy Caracciolo, like Sam Jordan, a lot of these girls went mid-major Division I, and I'm playing on team with these girls, and as soon it would be something as little as, oh, you had a second to get that shot off, and you may take it. He would pull us out, and we would have to do push-ups until he said stop in front of everybody on the sideline.
Oh, snap. Oh,
we ain't played good in the first half. Coach White be like, all right, baseline. The other team's in there getting their water. We're running suicides the whole entire halftime.
Yeah.
I remember I remember those moments, and I'm like, wow, these kids today.
Oh, I know.
But never.
Oh, I was just telling somebody on one of my shows how, I was coaching APYFL, and these were like, I don't know, I think these were like 13-year-old kids, and they were not paying attention. And I'm the defensive coordinator. I'm trying to put this defense in, and they're just talking or not paying. And we could never do anything like that. So I blow the whistle. I'm like, get your butts on and run. Man, do you know I got an email? Well, the head coach got an email from a parent, because these parents just sit around and watch our practice. I thought Coach Byrd was abusive and he foul language. And I'm like, yo, when I was in youth football at a younger age, our coach used real curse words and was holding us.
Oh, we would get cussed up and down every day. Yes. We talk about that all the time. It's crazy how things have changed so much. And I'm grateful to be a part of a program where my parents haven't given me any issues. Like, again, I'm not cussing nobody out because I don't cuss, but I'll get on them. Yeah. They know that there's consequences to their decision. There's consequences, when they're not like meeting expectations. They just know that. And, my parents have been great about just riding along and trusting me along this process. So thankfully, but it is rough in a lot of places with that. So
yeah, I will say this also, and you're living that. I remember, because I just coached everything my kids were in, because I would probably get a little frustrated when I watched somebody else. I'm like, what are you doing? I didn't know soccer, but I coached my kids in soccer. And I had my daughter, being super aggressive and all this. But the thing I would say in coaching all these sports, I will say there is something, and Jay, you can attest to this, about a football mom. Let me tell you, when you coach soccer and everybody's supposed to be kind of quiet. My niece is a great tennis player, quiet. Even baseball, you get the chatter, from the fans in general. But man, flag football with like 5-year-old, 6-year-old boys. I remember the mothers were so hard. It was like, I'm used to, just first coaching my kids in soccer, then man, they were like a kid would fall, get hurt. The mom was like, get up. Like, the moms were harder than dads. And I was like, yep.
Oh my goodness.
That's my wife too. She's like, and she has no tolerance when it came to track. She was like, you didn't do this, blah, 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 blah. That exchange, or your last leg, and they're just like, oh.
Right. Hey.
Yep.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah. Well, look, Coach, we got 2 last questions.
You're gonna,
Don't think too much about it. Then we'll wrap this up. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I purposely didn't tell you that in advance.
Any superpower.
I'm scared to ask Jay, because Jay probably be like invisible, and we don't know where you're gonna go with that. So we'll go with this.
I don't even know what this superpower is called, but I want to be able to snap my finger and be like, okay, this is where I want to be at this moment. Boom.
Damn. Okay.
And I'm there.
Because
I need to be somewhere on a tropical island.
That's
right
the sister girl, snap your finger. That's what that is. She snap your finger.
Snap the finger, I'm out.
Boom.
I'm
okay.
going.
What about you, Jay?
Batman.
Okay. So you have no superpower, you just got money. Because that's all you got. Okay. That's all you got. All right. So for me, if I had one, and I was on another podcast and somebody asked me this. I was like, it's a good question. I was like, I just want to be super intelligent. Like off the chart 10 times smarter than the smartest person has ever been. And
That's a good one.
Figured everything out. Like I couldn't lose an argument to my wife. I could build my own iPhone. I could. That's
right.
You know, I'm not even trying to solve crime. I mean, help with crime. I probably could be a good superhero, but I'm just be like off the charts intelligence. So that was my probably superhero I'd like. And then lastly, Coach, the Kirk and Byrd Show just gave you $5 billion after taxes. What are you going to do with $5 billion?
Buy a house through me.
I was about to say, enter me in a raffle if that's a possibility. Dang, but
you got the $5 billion.
Let me tell you, first thing I would do is pay off these student loans because
yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, they'll tear you up. Honestly, then I would just make sure my family's taken care of. I would buy honestly a bunch of land and build a house, and then I'll make sure my family's taken care of and then go from there.
Coach, I didn't say 5 million. I said $5 billion. Billion. You could do a lot more.
You know what's crazy? You know what people always tell me? They're like, you are so good with budgeting your money. You're so good with money. Like we feel like if you won all this money, you would do the minimal and then the rest away.
She would keep.
As you can see from my answer.
You spend $1 billion to keep $4 billion for a rainy day. I hear you.
Let me buy it. Let me try to buy an island, let me buy a small island that I can get away to.
Buy a WNBA franchise.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And make yourself a starting guard. All right. Well, look, Coach, I hope you have fun. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
I love the coaches at Brentsville. We've had Coach White on, and I followed them through their playoff run. We got to get you back on. Okay?
Yes, of course.
And this next time without Jay, because no, Jay's the man. Jay's the man. He is the godfather of Prince William County sports. I gave him.
Listen, I've been following. Trust me, I've been following. So I appreciate you guys for having me.
Oh, yeah. And last thing, Coach, if you want to promote anything or just any closing words to me, Jay, I want you to give a shout out. And Jay, you promote whatever you want. I know you got a new Facebook page, your real estate journey. Go ahead, Coach.
Nothing really. I'm going to have my Brentsville basketball kids camp June 19th.
There we go.
The 24th. So bring your babies. Okay.
There you go.
Great camp.
Great camp.
That's about it, though.
All right. We'll get you back on before that so we can promote it again. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Jay.
The real Prince William County Sports on Facebook. The other board is boring. This one,
no. We're not going to trash anybody. I support everybody. All right.
The real William County Sports Board.
Okay. But I told you, Jay, you said the real, and I said if you want to keep it real, you should have said DA real, the real. All right? THE, no, bro, DA.
Right.
One last thing for Coach.
Yes.
If I were you tonight on the bus ride to McLean, take out your iPhones and have them watch the NC State Houston game of 1983.
Okay. NC State, Houston, 1983.
They're all like, NC State
was
game. Houston was the heavy favorite, and NC State had a perfect game. Well, it can happen tonight.
It can. I completely agree. No matter, I talk about this all the time. It doesn't matter. Anybody can be beat. Anybody can be beat, and that's what you got to remember.
Jay's talking about a win by 1 point at the buzzer. I got y'all winning by 20, no problem.
Hey, energy. Let's go.
All right, Coach. We really appreciate it. Hey, look, good luck to Brentsville. We also, got mad love for Patriot Boys in their game tonight against Oscar Smith from the 757, who I watched earlier this year at the Island Iverson Classic. They're a good team, but I definitely believe in our Prince William School. So thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck and God bless. Thanks,
yes.
Jay. This has been Coach Byrd of the Kirk and Byrd Show. We're out.